What a confusing concert that must be. Hit me with a shot. What?
Okay.
Can you imagine fucking Bublé doing that tomorrow? Le'Veon rules. What?
I just haven't met you yet. What?
If he does...
This is Chris Hansen.
This is TJ Hushmanzada.
Chad doing Rip City Radio here.
This is Jamie Hudson.
And I need to let y'all know something. You're listening to...
And you're listening to...
It just makes sense.
This just makes sense.
It just makes sense.
Woo! Way better than Chris Hansen.
Yeah, seriously.
Some people do this for the love of the game. I think that we just do this so that we can drink on weekdays.
Every day is a day of reckoning? What? Because of a 30-yard pass for a first down, Gus? And he looks me up and down. He goes, "You're hella vaccinated up, aren't you?"
You know what else is rude? Both of you talking about how you went through a fat phase, and I don't know when I'm going to get out of it.
We're 30 years into this.
Yeah, maybe I'm just not applying myself, huh?
The show about conspiracy theories made by former lovers.
They make you want to scream. It just makes sense.
It makes me want to scream, fix your audio. You're on episode 95. Get a mixer.
That's a teaser for season 3. That's the energy we're bringing.
Sportsmanship is way overrated. Winning is what's rated.
If he does Le'Veon Rose, I might cry.
You don't. Is there a chance that he might not do it? How does he do his sets? Like a lot of old stuff, or
I mean, he does, because he has such a vast discography.
Quite. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to know, and especially because so many of his songs are covers, all of them are so recognizable. It's hard for him to miss. Because everybody knows his songs most of the time. So,
even still, like, there were songs that I heard tonight that were brand new, never heard them before. But he has such a way of making a song that I feel like I've already heard it a dozen times.
yeah, he's kind of got that formula down.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh, yeah, it's like some sort of feel good. You know, he's the formula.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I think his concerts are so appealing to me, because they're like it's never can be bad. Like, it's kind of what I was saying outside. It's like he uses everybody else's greatest hits to make his greatest hits. So it's like he can never go wrong.
So you're saying he's not original and he's just piggybacking off of the success of other people?
I mean, he is the greatest cover artist of all time.
No, I think Miguel is the greatest cover artist of all time.
That's true.
I mean, because probably 10% of his music is original.
Welcome to It Just Makes Sense, presented by Boneyard Burr. We've got ourselves an RPM here. You've got yourself a Hapa Wheelie.
Hapa Wheelie.
What do you got?
Cheers. Hapa Wheelie.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Papa Wheelie.
No, you've got
You got
yourself
Hop Venom.
a Hop Venom.
Oh, just
over
kidding.
there,
Hop Venom.
Cheers.
Boys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I need a drink after how tonight has been going, and as your loser tonight, I will need probably a couple more later on. If you are watching this on YouTube,
That's you.
there you are. What do you guys think of the new lighting? We've got mood lighting behind you guys now and everything too.
I don't know if I want to be blue.
You don't want to be blue? What color do you want to be?
You're green.
You're green. Well, hold on. So I've got this remote,
Oregon
and then we can
Ducks.
like throw a little party.
Or I hope you put up the schizophrenia warning.
Yeah, I know. The classic strobe light. There you go. Oh, now you're green over there. You could be blue. Here you go. We'll just
Give me blue.
There you go. Now we've just flipped them.
Perf.
Okay.
So there you go.
I like
Is
this.
Is it schizophrenia? No, that's not. That's what's the one where you have seizures?
Parkinson's.
No, it's seizure disorder. That's
multiple personality.
seizure disorder. Epilepsy.
Sorry, epilepsy.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah,
Jesus.
that's much different.
Much different.
It's incredibly insensitive.
Well, at least I called myself out, and I don't think it's that insensitive.
You're probably right.
Any other questions?
Oh gosh, what were other things that
Objection.
we were looking up to? Yeah. Feel like we struggled with very normal things earlier tonight. That is very much us in general. It's just struggling with normal things as it goes.
Yeah.
Can the camera see these two things?
No, that's
Oh.
the point.
Oh, cool.
We have a light there and a light there and a light there, and we've got backlights here. What else do we have in store? We have mic stands.
Yeah, we're big time now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all hands free.
Yeah, all hands free.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I got an MTV hoodie, so
Yeah,
that's how you know we've really moved up in the world.
the bargain basement of podcasts, filmed in a living room.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
With a lovely
our
rug.
executive producer has been relegated to off camera now.
Yep.
Oh, he thought I was going to call on him, so he was ready to stand up.
No, Hank, please don't.
I'll tell you what, Hank had the time of his life this weekend at the tailgate.
He did.
Down in Corvallis.
He was stimulated.
Oregon State. It was a good
loved
time
it.
for him because he had just gotten done up at the PetSmart. He got his nails trimmed. He got the coat brushed and washed and everything. So he was feeling himself. He was a very good therapy dog. A number of students came up and were like, "Oh, I miss my dog already." So it was very nice.
Yeah.
So
After his full grooming spa session, he's like, "No fucking way, I'm staying in the house this weekend."
I got to show this off.
I gotta get
go
out.
Yeah, and Hank is the type of dog. He's old and he just walks around without a leash and a collar and everything. So people are always very impressed about oh, my dog could never do this. But Hank is quite the example. Not like let's see, there was one tailgate dog, a little yip dog that kind of came up. He kind of got loose. The owner's he was on a leash, but he broke free of the leash, whatever. Then he started kind of nipping at Hank. And my instinct, kind of trying to pick a fight with him because Hank's just such a big dog, and I ended up kind of pushing Hank away.
Did this happen before we got there?
No, this happened we did a few rounds while you guys were there, and I feel like that guy thought that Hank was starting something, and I'm like, come on, man, this is the chillest dog ever. It doesn't, he's never gonna do anything. But then also. Coming out of the PetSmart. And I don't know why people would bring their dogs if they're this out of control, but there was a woman, all of it kind of unfolded after the fact when he realized. So Hank and I were walking out of the PetSmart, and across the way from us, there was a other dog walking out, and then there was this kind of, I think it was a pit bull, but I don't want to say it's a pit bull because of the stigmas about pit bulls, because pit bulls are
you're
actually really cool.
stereotyping.
Yeah. But I'm pretty sure this was a pit bull. It had
Nonetheless.
it had a muzzle on,
Okay.
and the window was rolled down all the way. He had a leash on as well, but jumped out of the window and literally went to attack this other dog. But luckily, it had the muzzle on, so people were he was still trying to attack him, despite the fact that he couldn't bite him. It was very adrenaline-inducing. But why bring your dog even to that scenario if you very clearly know I can't bring it inside? I don't know. It was very.
And it was
put me
still
on edge.
attached to a leash that was attached in the car.
Yeah,
So,
so
it
I
was
think
a
that.
long enough leash.
No, so I feel maybe they tried to tie the leash up maybe on something in the car, but he
That just didn't stay.
didn't stick.
Gotcha.
So it was quite alarming.
Did the dog look like Bane with the thing?
They do, yeah. So,
Officer. Excuse me, officer.
they do. So I don't know how we got to there. We went tailgating. Tailgating was mainly the point. Had a good time tailgating.
Yeah, it was.
It was not to bring it down here. I'm gonna try and bring this thing down, crash this into the side of a mountain all night.
Quite the little path there, but no, you're right. Tailgating was great. Hank was a wonderful tailgating dog, as per usual. But it was a good time. There was a lot of good food, a lot of good people. The vibe was great. I think
hella good vibes.
I think going into it, all the Oregon State fans had a lot of confidence that they were going to play well against USC, and I think they did. I think they played well, okay, at least.
They could have won.
They should have won.
Definitely fumbled the bag there at the end. No pun intended. But the tailgate, nonetheless, was an electric time.
We got to see Caleb Smith, if you haven't.
Absolutely.
That's been a blast from the past from season 1. He was on the Balut episode.
Absolutely. A great listen. One of our most listened to episodes.
I think it was just a bunch of Oregon State compliance officers who would listen to that, just making sure that, because the way that we had framed that episode was like, Caleb Smith spills the tea on Gary Anderson in Oregon State. And
as we asked him, he's like, maybe off air, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I'll probably tell you guys off air. But.
No, but that was a good time. Go back and listen. It was good to see him. But yeah, great time.
Yeah, and afterwards, so none of us had tickets to the game. We had all just intended to go down and tailgate, and if the price was right, we were going to go to the game. But, guys were trying to charge like $100 at kick, and it just was
like
ridiculous.
$200 at one point, right?
Yeah.
Quite silly. And like half the stadium, for those who are unfamiliar, Oregon State, now finally a decent-looking football team, only half of their stadium is available because they detonated, they destroyed the other half so they could build it back up brand new, which then drove the price of the ticket up.
I don't even think we paid over $200 each for like Chargers Browns tickets.
No, yeah, we were like
so no chance I was going to pay that in Corvallis.
Nope.
So after the fact, went to a bar, and I guess it was we had to peace out because the toddler was getting a little feisty. But apparently Ashley had a good time. She was rah-rahing everyone.
I mean, the bar that we went to where you guys couldn't stay, there was also a guy that was fucking out of control. Like, we had to leave.
Really?
That's why Braxton.
That's why he called and said, "Hey."
Well, Braxton found a bar across the street that was a lot more calm, because this fucking guy at that first bar, he was
out of control.
Even if he was cheering for your team, I mean, he's literally screaming at the fucking TV, just going, "Fuck Southern California, fuck you, let's go Beavers." Like, it was my dick. Yeah, it was like, too much.
Yeah,
it was too much.
The amount of sucking and
the amount of
sucking and fucking
that he wanted to induce.
It was a little obscene. But then the worst part is you guys had left, and we wanted you to stay. We wanted to find a place that Brody could have,
which I appreciate,
enjoy himself. But and the place across the street, they literally had like an arcade upstairs.
We were like 5 minutes apart for you not leaving.
That's true.
And they had a Papa Shot upstairs.
And also, Brody probably would have had a great time. There was so much fun things to do, and it was like a much better vibe. But that's okay. I think it worked out how it worked out.
However, that place was not perfect, because even though they had the Papa Shot that Brody could have had fun, they did not have the fucking Beaver USC game on the bigger screens. They had it on 3 screens, which was behind the bar, because the receivers weren't working.
Oh,
I had walked over there earlier, and I had seen the Beaver game up on the screens. I don't know if it was just like they were like cutting to it from the other game they were able to show, or if the receivers had literally just gone out. But by the time I went back, had that conversation with you on the phone, and told them, "Hey, let's go over to this other place."
Something went awry.
Something went awry. And then I came back, and it was like, now it's only on these 3 TVs.
So the screens that were closest to us has the Oklahoma Kansas State game and the Ohio State Wisconsin game. So Braxton had it playing on his phone, so I can see. and then they
you were
all
watching
just-
it on your little
yeah,
tiny
yeah.
screens. That's always the.
I would say the best part though is we didn't finish the game at that bar. We had taken an Uber back to
the tailgate.
The tailgate spot.
Oh, sweet.
And we had just propped up his phone, watching it on the back of Jarrett's car. We were all sitting around in camping chairs, and the phone was behind. So shit would happen.
Right, yeah.
And you would hear all the
roar.
cheering, and we're like, either something good happened or it's really quiet, something bad happened. Yeah. And then you would see it. You would see the phone.
How far
catch
behind
up.
was it? Like 30 seconds or like 10 seconds?
It was
It's
probably
a bit more than 10.
It was probably 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Behind. Yeah.
You know what? Your fiance you would not call her an enabler, would you?
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. Why?
No, it was funny because we had, as you know, I had talked with her about the tailgate heading around, and I was suggesting things because like you guys talking about watching stuff off of the phone made me think of this. Is that I called Jara on Friday, and I'm kind of just like, again, I know that you had said like, hey, like this is kind of her thing, so I just kind of wanted to follow up and make sure all the information was there. That's all. Apparently I was annoying in doing that. But what the point was is that like I was kind of like poking around to see, because I really I was considering buying a generator. I was considering getting like a little portable satellite dish, like really leaning into the tailgate, and I just kind of needed somebody to egg me on. And I was just kind of like, oh, I'm thinking about this. Oh, like we've had our power go out a number of times, both in the summer and the winter. So I'm like, I'm really thinking about buying a generator. Do you think we need a generator so that we could power a TV and a satellite dish so that then I could then snowball this into a really cool setup? I mean, gosh, I'll go buy another camper or an RV. Tell me to do it, Jara, and I will do it for you.
If you're looking for a person to get the okay, she probably would be the last person to give that shit to you.
She is the most responsible,
practical,
like put together person, maybe of our entire group. I don't want to be so bold, but she is up there, or I should say down there, as far as the people you should call to be like, yeah, dude, fuck yeah, do that.
Yeah, she would not be the person. And also, I mean, even I would think that would have been too much for Saturday, and that wouldn't have been the tailgate to do that for.
Yeah, no,
if you're
that would have been wrong time, wrong place.
If you're gonna lean in and go out completely balls out for a tailgate, it would have been a different tailgate, a different game, and probably our group.
Yeah,
sure.
And
like with like Mitch and all them there,
right?
Yeah, that we're gonna like actually go to. Yeah, that was.
Well, right, yeah, and I mean, and then by the time other people had shown up, people that we were either unfamiliar with or not as familiar with, I mean, like they had they were throwing the beer pong, they were doing beer pong and other stuff, and it was a very
such an old.
Yeah, what
they
were they doing? They had
pong.
that little ball and the cups and the thing.
But if I think about if you're leading, I'm not against you doing that. But that would make more sense if we were going to like a Beavers UW game where
San Jose
they're
State
both,
or something.
No, not even a shitty
that
team, but like Beavers Wazoo or Beavers Wash or UW, and they're both good. And the game's at like 4, and then we get there at
or like
11, and we're watching a full slate of college football
sure.
games before that game starts.
Yeah,
that makes more sense.
All right.
Absolutely.
Not ruling it out, but I just at a certain
I don't want
point,
you to rule it out. But yeah, that wasn't the right tailgate for it.
And that's fine.
But I do think that in the future that would be really, really cool to have. I do see the value of a generator, Peter.
Thank you. That's good. That's good.
And so in the future, especially like also half the crowd there doesn't care about the other football games that are going on.
Yeah.
They could give a shit.
And that was the thing, like I had, because we were the first ones to get there, to set up, we wanted to make sure that we had enough spots and everything. And the corner of which we usually tailgate, in the past, there's been like a setup where the people have the satellite dish and all of that other stuff. But those people were kind of off in kind of like standard parking spots. It wasn't as good of a setup, so I just elected to kind of stay in our area, but
I
stayed
think
in the lane.
those people that had that set up last year, I thought they were there, but they were across from us.
Oh, yeah.
And they didn't have the TV set up because they had the shot ski. It was the same
The shot ski was back, yeah.
We took shots out of. They were there, but they just didn't have the full setup.
Did you see the ice cream robot?
Like the ones going around Corvallis?
Yeah, there were those robots had ice cream in it.
I mean, when we went to the baseball game a few months ago,
Not just ice cream.
I mean, tons of stuff, but I mean,
I remember seeing
I know
them
that the man
everywhere.
responds to ice cream. He responds to a lot of things.
I mean, it's a food delivery machine.
Yeah, it was a food delivery machine.
I mean, don't just simplify these robots
Right.
to ice cream, Peter.
That's true.
Mike, I'm curious if you're a student at OSU and you're drunk as shit, you're walking home from the bar. Can you unlock one of those things knowing there's food in there?
No, I'm sure there's like some kind of pin code, or like you put your phone to the robot to
What if you have a
unlock
fucking
it.
crowbar? And I know there's pizza or burgers in there, and it's 3 a.m, and I'm like, I will break the shit.
I'm
right
sure it would start an alarm of some kind.
now. Ooh, alarms. I don't like them.
Sirens. You'd be screwed, brother. You ever think about that?
Jail time. Jail time, princess.
If you could go back to
What?
yeah, what's the reference of that?
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Bad teacher.
Oh.
The one with Cameron Diaz?
Yeah.
And Justin Timberlake?
Yeah.
Hey, that has a great dry fucking scene in it.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. The girl that
Not a lot of those out there.
A good old, everyone loves a good dry hump.
The girl that heard that on the phone was Justin Timberlake's girlfriend, the teacher that said jail time. I mean,
It's all coming
catch
together.
up, guys.
Yeah.
It's all coming together.
I'm so sorry that I think I've seen that movie once.
Well,
One
that's
time?
sounds like a you
Maybe?
problem.
I just remember her like driving in and being hungover. Either way.
It's a great movie.
Would you going back to college, would you consider Oregon State?
Yeah.
You would.
You know,
Is that the type of like college town you like?
Yeah.
Really?
Going to ASU was like, it didn't feel like, and I've said this so many times, it didn't feel like you were in the college town. You were in a massive city.
Sure.
And at that time, I think ASU was like top 3 in the enrollment. They had a bunch of students. And you were in the city. You were in Phoenix. You were in Tempe. Like, it didn't feel like, you can just walk around at night and stumble into a fucking frat party, And I remember visiting a lot of my friends at Washington State in Pullman in the middle of nowhere. And it had that great college feel. Everyone knew everyone. You can roll into any house party. You'd know people. They had 2 small bars that people would go to that would have like a $6 pitcher. And that didn't really exist at ASU because it's all, even though it's like Mill Avenue are all bars, and there would be some that are catered to students with like cheap shit, like $3 bottomless Long Island iced teas, whatever. Majority of them are still bars that non-students would go to. So I kind of wish I would have had the experience of like Corvallis
And you would
or
have
Pullman.
And you would, yeah, and because we have that, that recruiting story from the Pullman area that you have.
Oh,
I mean,
great
you would
time.
have been royalty there. Just
Yeah, I think going to a college where the college is the biggest thing going on in that town.
Yep.
That's definitely, I'm on the same page with you guys there.
But however, when we were at Mitch's bachelor party and we were in Austin and it was like graduation weekend and it was just, we were 30-somethings amongst a bunch of literal teenagers. It felt good. I liked the atmosphere. There were just so many people. I was
But
like,
I
this
think that
is
was
fun.
kind of an
there were also
anomaly.
older people. There were parents there
Yeah.
too.
But that's the thing. It's not that going to a big city college wouldn't be fun. You would have those experiences when you go to UT in Austin or ASU. But it seems like that's more of a nightly thing in Pullman. I mean, those kids just get fucking hammered.
Yeah, there's like nothing else
Sure.
to do.
There's nothing else to do. They just drink. And it's not, you're not really like, oh, let's get ready and go out to the club. Like Corvallis, yeah, it had Impulse or whatever. But you have like 1 or 2 places to go to.
Yeah, but the thing too, and I mean, we've talked about it on back-to-back shows. I guess now back-to-back, which is Texas A&M, a very like high pride in your school, right? Like there's just that too is alluring or enticing in kind of choosing that as well. It's again probably how big of a city are they in?
College Station.
Pretty big.
Pretty big. Seems pretty big.
Everything's big. They're unique though, because they're in a big city, but College Station is Texas A&M.
Yeah.
The school is the biggest thing there.
Yeah.
And to address that, like they have, like you mentioned last week, a lot of cult-like traditions, for a big school. And they have these people like, Jason is a diehard alumni to this day. Mm-hmm. I have never, and including me, even though I didn't graduate from ASU, and I was only there for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone I know that went there, including myself, they don't have that type of like
loyalty.
Right.
No one that went to ASU is like, do I like to see them win? Yes, but you don't have that diehard, like, oh man, like it's
school
almost
pride.
like the school pride doesn't really exist. It's almost like your hate for U of A is a lot higher than the school pride that you have within Arizona State.
Right, because at Oregon, where I graduated from, I felt excited being there as at football games, but I don't have this gigantic sense of that I'm gonna be that fan for life or whatever. And I grew up in a family of Beavers as well.
And I think you kind of are an odd man out with your career and kind of having to separate from fandom entirely.
Right, yeah.
So I think that's a little bit different. Because I think, and this is probably biased, but almost everybody I know that's went to Oregon feels that loyalty.
That loyalty.
That loyalty towards that fandom.
As much as I hate Oregon, I wouldn't put them in the same light as ASU when it comes to school pride. Yeah. I don't think it exists in Tempe. I don't think it exists at ASU.
Where it certainly doesn't exist is on the farm at Stanford. Stanford is the fucking worst place to watch a game. And the tailgates are kind of cool because you're amongst the trees and everything. I don't know if you've ever tailgated there or been to a game.
Haven't.
But and the tailgates are very you have marathon buses and literally everyone there's a lot of money.
I thought you were going to say that you feel good about the tailgate because if you overeat, there's a shit ton of doctors around.
Yeah, that might be true too. No, but I just the environment sucks. Even when Oregon played an Andrew Luck-led Stanford team where it was just two top 25, top 15 programs. It was just they weren't there for the game. Well, they can't even sell those games out.
That's kind of requirement number 2 when you're looking at a fun school to go to. It can't be too smart.
Correct, yeah.
And Stanford's too smart.
Too smart.
You present 2 scenarios to the students at Stanford. Do you want to go to a 8 p.m. kickoff game or study for finals? I need to study. I'm trying to become a fucking brain surgeon.
Yeah,
so
that Oregon State game is going to be an 8 o'clock game.
And hit the library or go to the football game, loser.
Oh, we have a football team?
Yeah. You don't go there for sports. You don't go there for pride in sports. No.
There you go.
Not Stanford.
Maybe so that's our 2 requirements for cool colleges.
Yeah.
Tune in next week. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Small enough and dumb enough.
Small enough and dumb enough. That's what we want.
That is it. Just makes sense.
I heard that when you enroll at West Virginia, if you have all your teeth, you're not getting accepted. You have to miss at least one.
Is that why they're the only school that offered me a scholarship?
Full ride?
Yeah. I got 2 teeth missing.
They're like,
they just
full
asked,
ride 4 years.
They just asked for a picture of my smile. That was it.
Easy.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm trying to figure out a transition into this, but you guys just want to talk about the top 10 websites that people spent the most money on in 2022? West Bites, yeah. That was, yeah. We did do a little bit extra of actually talking about sports in our non-sports talk. How about that?
There we go.
Is it top 10?
Can I guess?
Yeah, I want to guess.
Yeah, okay.
Amazon?
Amazon is clearly number 1.
Alibaba?
Alibaba is not on the list
Is this
in the
US?
United States. Yeah,
Okay.
this is United States only.
Etsy.
Etsy is number 9.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to me.
Yep. I know this is like a weird punishment or something, but no punishments are happening, as I am tonight's loser.
Websites. Does Google count?
No, I mean, like, we're talking about...
eBay.
Yes, eBay is on there. Online shopping sites.
Okay.
eBay is
eBay.
number 3.
Target.
Target is number 4.
Walmart.
Walmart is number 8. So far we have Amazon, eBay, Target, Walmart, Etsy.
Macy's.
Macy's not on there. They're going out of business.
My mom just bought something from there.
Yeah, there is a big box store on there that's more clothing related at number 10.
Zappos.
No, starts with a K, and it's
Kohl's.
not Kmart. Yeah, it's
Kohl's.
Kohl's.
Costco.
Costco not on there. Everyone just goes to the store on Sundays. You know that. This is, okay, there are 2 incredibly obscure ones. One that is home improvement based.
Home Depot.
Home Depot. Lowe's is not on there. Electronic based.
Best Buy.
Best Buy, correct. And then here are...
Circuit City.
And then here are... Yeah.
Fry's.
Circuit City got the raw end of the job. I love Circuit City.
They always
back
had
in
the
day.
coolest, like, they always had, like, big spheres and, like, different shapes with their signs.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
They're very interactive store. It was quite cool. But
Bring
R.I.P.
back Circuit City.
yeah. And bring back Mervin's. Mervin's was real cool.
I don't know about
or
that.
Emporium.
Guys, we can go without Mervin's.
Yeah.
I think we're okay.
Emporium.
French Fry Emporium?
Exactly. No.
That sounds nice.
Okay. So number 6. LongJohnSilvers.com.
The fucking
The
fish and chips?
The fish and shrimp place. Yeah. Apparently that a lot of people are using the app. LongJohnSilvers.com is number 6 on the list of top 10 online shopping sites.
I only know of
2022.
one Long John Silver's, and I don't even know if it's
I
still
feel like
open
you're
in
fucking
Vancouver.
I'm a
with us.
Skipper's stan, if you ask me. I like the little Skippers.
Oh, it's a Skipper's I'm thinking of. But
Maybe, yeah. The
Long
one in
John
Salem.
Silver's?
I feel like, show me this.
Well, I'm not going to show you because then we have to look at number 2, which I'm not going to show. Hold on. I will.
Oh, so
LongJohnSilvers.com. It's right there. Number 6.
You're talking about an app where people order food.
What?
I am just looking
Peter?
at, according to Curve USA, these are the top 10, and this was shared by your
Barstool Sports. Let me look at this a little bit closer, Peter. Do you mind showing that to me one more time?
Is LongJohnSilvers.com a porn site?
This is a fake list, Peter.
Is it
Show
a,
it to
is
me.
it a fake list?
Show it to
It
me.
cannot be a fake
Show
list.
it to me.
Long John Silver's is
What does
weird.
Curve stand for? Is there something on there that tells you?
Curve stands for... Oh, yeah, it's a fake one.
Why don't you tell us what Curve stands for?
It just says the future isn't a better bank. It's this. Combine your wallet into a single card. Download the app now.
Oh, well, that's the sponsor.
Okay.
Can I see the graphic, please?
What's wrong with the graphic?
Because
Number 2, which I believe.
All the other ones sound real except for Long John
like
Silver's.
what's wrong with?
Because sometimes Barstool will put out these fake, like, top 10 lists just to get people going.
No,
Like
I
the
mean
Onion.
like I'm really gonna get people going by Walmart. Come on,
Long
now.
John Silvers.
I mean, like I didn't make the rules. Like I mean, number 2, by the way, any guess? It is adult themed.
Playboy?
OnlyFans.
Well, everything sounds
Which
legit.
all of it seems legit.
But
It's just
Long John
Silver's.
But
and again, this is coming from Dunkin' Donuts guy himself.
Here's my question. We would have never guessed Long John Silver's because we were guessing like eBay and Amazon, where
Right,
you
which
buy
are all
stuff.
legitimate, yeah.
Now, if you're talking about an app where you order food, I would venture to guess like
McDonald's would be way higher.
Yeah, way higher for like ordering food.
Let's
rather
also
than
check
that.
to make sure that Long John Silver's isn't some sort of like
I feel like it's not real.
Is it like a dildo site or some
No,
shit?
it is. It's there's lobster bites in right here.
Ooh, lobster bites.
Yeah, they've got
Go on the
lobster
app
bites.
right now.
So that's the thing. Like back. That's why for a second I thought maybe it wasn't because like whitehouse.com back in the day was a porn site. And I wonder if it still is.
Is it just only white people banging, or what? What's the deal with White
I
House?
just think that they were just trying to get clicks by like having a
It's all presidential scenarios.
because of whitehouse.gov. I don't know. It was the early stages of the internet. They're like, what will people actually Google?
You know, speaking of that, the Minnesota Twins just was able to acquire twins.com from this just random set of twins who just like in their small town were referred to as the Twins.
Did they get paid out?
Yes. So they created a website, twins.com, and they held on to
it for a really long
They
time.
had diamond fists.
But I imagine they have been getting money offers for the longest time. What did they settle on?
I don't know. I don't know if the number was public.
I imagine they've been getting
Twins.com
offered, like, come
sale.
on, like, release it, please.
Yeah, so August 22nd is when they acquired twins.com as the domain name.
Any amount?
Let's see. Let me get down this list. Reportedly received offers of up to $750,000 in the past.
Oh, I was thinking in the millions.
But that's not from the MLB. It says those lucrative offers likely came from the adult industry. It does not specify. However, Rangers.com was acquired in 2015 for $375,000. And it was the...
I wouldn't have settled for under $5 million.
Interesting, yeah. By the way, I love this, too, because I typed in whitehouse.com. There was a splash page that asked me if I'm 18 or older. It says, world's most famous adult and free speech site is now live, whitehouse.com, as seen on Fox News, the New York Times, NBC News, CNN, and ABC News.
So it's a porn site?
It's a porn site, as seen on, as talked about. I remember the way I found out about it was like through the Oprah Winfrey show back in the day. That's how I knew about that.
And I bet you were like, oh, okay, so I can look at this site, and if, my parents or whatever catch me looking at it, I can be like, oh, I didn't.
I know you have.
I'm just getting ready for when I can vote.
Still very much a porn site. Yep. There you go.
I'm so excited to be able to vote.
Peter's like, yep.
Yep, that's
let me
pornography.
double check.
Yep.
Let me double check.
There it
Yep.
is. Not going to put that up on the screen. Sorry, guys.
Why not? It's for the kids.
We've already gotten
For the children.
We've already got. Remember the YouTubes here, so
The boob tubes.
yeah, I do think that is funny though. That twins.com
Long John Silver's.
and twins.
Fucking kidding me.
I don't know if that's true.
Listen, it came from Barstool. Of course, it's true.
The list sounds legit, except for Long John Silver's at 6.
But now let's see. Is there a long? Let's check the closest Long John Silver.
It's
think
probably
we have
like
Portland.
combined with a Taco Bell and a Pizza Hut.
Usually, right. It is, exactly. Yeah. Taco Bell. There was
Where
one
is
in
it?
Troutdale and Hillsboro.
Okay.
So on your way out of town, where the truck stops actually are.
Yeah.
All right, give me some lobster bites. Put it in. We'll pick it
I
up.
have never been to Long John Silver's.
Neither have I. I think I've been to Skipper's in Vancouver once, which is like a Long John
Skipper's
Silver's.
is legit. Yeah, and there was one in Salem.
I
I don't know. But I think that's a Long John Silver's now is where the Skipper's was, R.I.P.
I have
Great
never
challenge.
had any fast food fish. Ever.
Really?
Ever.
That's
You've
not
put a
true.
lot of things into your body, and you haven't put in fast food fish?
No.
Take your teeth out and say it.
No.
Would you not count Moe's at the Oregon coast as fast
No,
food?
that's a
No,
sit-down
that's
restaurant.
Not, yeah, that's not even close to fast
You've
food.
never had fish and chips at
It's
Mike's Drive-In?
streamlined.
I've never had Mike's Drive-In.
Interesting.
And even that.
Weird.
It's like
I
deluxe
would
fast
love
food.
to. And again, that's a drive-in, not fast food. In fact, they make it clear that because their quality is better.
I think Mike's Drive-In counts as fast food.
Nah,
What category would you put him in?
fast casual.
Okay. That's like a Chipotle.
Exactly.
I would think that Chipotle's fast food now. I mean,
this is where I put my
how
foot
is it
down.
not? Is Dairy Queen fast casual because they're
No.
just slow as fuck to get your food out?
Does it? If you can find the restaurant with a drive-through, it's a fast food restaurant.
All right.
I think that's fair.
Well, Mike's does not have a drive-through.
Does not.
So you're answered. Maybe we'll do a little Long John Silver's
Whatever.
and Skipper's taste testing here coming
Yeah,
up.
probably not.
Which will
though.
be the
Nice
exact same.
Probably
cold
not.
fast food.
Probably not going to happen.
Why not?
That's because he hates fish. He just hates fish.
I
Do you
don't
actually
hate
not like
fish.
fish?
You do not like fish.
I don't love fish,
Huh.
but I've never turned fish down
That's not you.
as an adult.
Absolutely turned fish down
When?
several times.
Yeah. So at what age did you know that you were a racist?
What?
I mean, it's clearly
Anti-seafood.
yeah,
Yeah.
anti-seafoodic.
No, I don't. I love seafood, like shellfish and all that kind of stuff. I don't love fish, especially like red fish. I like white fish more than anything. But I've had fish and chips with
Redfish.
like
Like
pink fish.
salmon.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Just never described it as redfish. I thought it was just a Dr. Seuss book at this point.
yeah.
So you don't like salmon?
I don't love salmon.
I feel like we're being exceptionally hard on him just for seafood.
Yeah.
Just for a seafood
And-
take.
I want to ride this out.
And
Yeah.
anytime there's salmon, I always have some. I'm always willing to try it to see. And there are some times where somebody cooks it a certain way, where it's most of the time it's like drenched in like butter and garlic or some sauce. And
And
I'm
you're
like,
cool with it.
yeah.
Well, how do you feel about beer?
Yeah, you're stumped, bro.
I love beer.
Okay, well, there is currently a U.S. beer shortage. I don't know if I brought that up last week.
Well,
but,
it's probably my fault.
Yeah.
Sorry, boys.
The U.S. beer shortage looms with the gap in carbon dioxide supply. So there is, let's see, we've been running delivery to delivery for the past few weeks. We're concerned about supply, production delays, bloody blue, people paying 3 to 4x on beer.
How many?
And we don't have to worry about it.
Pete's bringing the electricity
Yeah.
tonight.
I hadn't read the
Bloody
full
blue.
Bloody blue beer shortage.
Here's Coach O's autobiography. Beady body boo.
Story time.
I feel like we've had a bunch of shortages from like chicken and now beer. Have you felt the effect of any of these shortages the last like year and a half?
I will say that I have noticed the price increase in chicken, specifically wings.
Okay, like
Yeah.
we've felt the inflation, like how much more we're paying for things.
Yeah.
Well, that's
I
part
guess-
of the supply issue.
But I guess
right?
my question is because Ashley and I don't go to the fucking grocery store. Like we Instacart everything.
Right, the price is the price.
Like I guess have you gone and like just seen the chicken fridge just completely empty? Like oh shit, there's no chicken.
Yeah.
Or like the beer fridge
I've
is like
seen
oh
that.
we're out of beer.
I've seen that,
Yeah.
but also like of the chicken that's there or steak, it's just exponentially more because they're trying to create scarcity on it. They're trying to prevent people from gobbling it up.
Good one, Peter. But yeah,
Signature.
no, there has been a couple times, especially like in the height of COVID and when a lot of these supply chain issues started. Yeah, there's definitely been times where it's like, oh, all the toilet paper's gone, or all the chicken's gone, or all the milk is gone, and it's not like completely gone, but what is left, like Peter said, is usually marked up incredibly.
just hit the manager special at Safeway with all the meat that's like brown. Cook it right away.
Yeah,
Yeah.
garbage chicken.
Have you ever gotten one of those and then just like, you know, they'll tell you it's manager special, it's 50% off. You know, you're browsing around, you're broke. You just grab one of those, you cook it at home, and something's just off as soon as you open it.
But you're invincible, so you always just eat it.
Oh,
no
yeah, I
matter
always
what.
ate it.
Yeah.
I never threw it away. But, like,
I mean, I would never get. I have definitely gotten the manager specials, but if something's discolored, then no, I would never. eat that.
No, not necessarily that, but like once you open the packaging, it's like this doesn't something's off as far as the smell. I'm like, whatever. I'll douse it in something. Just
You're a sauce
eat
man.
it anyway.
You'll put it in the sauce.
Yeah, I don't know. All the manager specials I've experienced have been okay. I haven't had that happen.
Hey, I'm still here.
I'm not as risky as you are.
I know.
I like to live life on the edge, boys. I model my life after Jesse Stamos.
Jesse Stamos? Is that a collection of...
Oh, no, it's John Stamos. It's Uncle Jesse.
Uncle Jesse. I was like, that's a collection of names.
My bad.
I wasn't going to say anything. Jesse Stamos.
My bad. I mean, it's both J names. Get out of here.
Get out of here. You guys want to talk a little bit about sports?
Sure.
Give it to me.
I am this week's loser.
You want to get punished now?
No, we'll wait for it. But I did want to at least bring up more or less how I had no shot at winning, which was late picks on my part. However,
you only missed three.
I did miss 3. However, and I got a text message running around preparing for the tailgate. I was like, the thought of like, oh, I had that dream that I was going to miss my picks, and I was like, oh, I better go make my picks. And the next thing I know, I get a text message from Braxton saying tisk Pete, and I'm like, I'm like, oh shoot, it's 9:19. But then I was like, is this guy hall monitoring me? Like, I mean, I swear to you that I was not. I didn't think it was that late at that point. I'd been up since 6 o'clock in the morning, but then all of a sudden I have hall monitor Braxton looking and saying, "Oh well, he hadn't put his picks in."
It's not
because you didn't have any activity on the sheet, so don't even say that you were putting your picks in.
Peter,
no, I wasn't.
It's not necessarily just about Saturday. It's just your cheating ways precedes you.
No,
so you were just camped out on the sheet watching me.
No, I wasn't. I just happened to look because I had gotten up early that morning. I had happened to look at like 9:07 probably.
And I had nothing there.
And you had nothing there.
Mm-hmm. I remember looking at 9:19 and you had nothing there. To be fair, you only missed 3 picks. Had you gotten those 3, you still wouldn't have come close to
Yeah, we did
winning.
beat you by 20%.
Well, no, I mean, because like I mailed these other picks in or whatever.
Oh,
but
you didn't put a lot of time.
But no, I wasn't. I wasn't hall monitoring you. I happened to look at it at like 9:07. I saw that you didn't have them in, and then because I saw that you didn't have them in, I wanted to see if you were going to put them in, and you did, and I wanted to make sure.
Sounds like a hall monitor.
But my intention from the beginning was not that. Once I saw that you didn't have that in, I'm not going to let that go.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, that's why I didn't even fight it. But I did at least think, oh, shoot. Hey, Brody. Hi.
I thought I saw a ghost.
The chaotic energy in this home this evening is quite
palpable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pungent.
Yeah, sorry about that. Does it put you on edge?
A little bit.
Yeah, I know. You're feeding off of my anxiety.
Yeah, but that's okay.
This last 5 minutes felt like Halloween.
I mean, we are getting close.
It's still September.
I'll figure out how to weave this into the show, but my son had kind of sleptwalked downstairs, and we can't see that as well because the lighting has kind of more or less put on blinders for us. So as soon all of a sudden, just child appears and scurries into the other room. Terrified.
Pete.
I wasn't sure who it was.
It's like as if like you forgot that I had a child.
God.
Why is there a child running around in my household?
Oh my gosh.
So, well, that saves me from having to just cover for myself. I started out the college football week 0-6. So yeah, it was not. I had a nice streak in the afternoon. I think I went, what was that, 6-1 to close out the day. But either way, I didn't fight it. I honestly didn't know, and it could have been the difference for me.
Yeah. And honestly,
in the losing.
You got very unlucky because the chances of me being up at 9:07 on a Saturday are slim to none. And for some reason I was.
Right.
So I looked at the sheet and I saw it and I was like, I got royally fucked last week just because same thing. I forgot to wake up. I forgot to do it.
You guys do make it sound like, do you study
no,
before you make picks?
I just wait for the last minute, really. I mean,
I know, and that's the other thing that's like, is it really a good excuse? You had 5 days.
5 days, yeah. You put these in early.
No, that's what I mean. Like, when I'm hearing these explanations, I'm like, are you guys sitting there researching? Because I just put my picks in without, like, I don't research anything.
Well, it's not as if these spreads change on here. They're not interactive or whatever. So,
well, and we've always said if like there's a drastic spread change, like we'll go in and change it. Like that's
correct. Yeah,
we're always going to do that. But most of the time, it's usually within a 1.5. It's not really that too big of a difference.
The only somewhat drastic change I've noticed are the total points in the NFL. Like ours would be way off by the time it kicks off.
Then change those. Just
I wouldn't notice it until like I'm watching the game.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, oh shit! Like, why is ours 39.5 and it's like 48?
One game that was not on the slate for us in our picks, but might have been a fun one, which was what happened down in Miami, Florida, between Mario Cristobal and his Hurricanes.
Oh, Middle Tennessee State.
And Middle Tennessee State getting the ass whooping it wasn't even just a kind of beatdown. It was it was a very
rocked.
It was a very actual beatdown.
Well, and that's the funny thing is usually if there's a spread that's like over 30, I'm like, okay, that's, I'm going to keep that off our ledger. There's plenty of other games that are closer.
We did have UConn at 39.5. I was like, that's an easy pick.
Well, I didn't know the spread. I just kept it on there thinking it would be closer. We didn't find out the spread until like the night before.
We all took them. We're like, 39.5. No fucking way.
Yeah, I was going to see if I could find the spread here real quick on that game. It was 25.5.
Okay.
And it was at Miami, right?
And it was at Miami, and then the final score was 45-31, which was kind of, I feel like there was a garbage time touchdown. It was 45-24 at a point. The honeymoon seems to be over as there was a local radio show here in Portland that had posted a number of tweets about Mario Cristobal and from Hurricanes fans, so they aggregated it. One of them says, "Holy fucking shit, I'm sorry, Duck fans. You guys were spot on about Mario. Hate to be that guy, but the first of 4 games, the offense has been conservative. Injuries have piled up. Mario's coaching is already suspect. Oregon fans warned us, and they've been correct over everything they've been saying. I apologize, Oregon fans. I see why y'all weren't sad to see Mario Cristobal fleece us and leave."
Who are they talking about? Because I'm pretty sure every Duck fan I knew or were around me did not want him to leave.
Really?
I would say there was a pretty good split, though. They
didn't have like the Chip Kelly vibes, right?
Yeah.
Not to that degree. No. Like, Chip Kelly, he's no Chip, but
I would say it was a good like 50-50 split, though. There was a lot of vocal, especially online fans who were on Twitter and stuff, because the people who were okay with it didn't really say anything, and the people who weren't,
right, the loudest ones, yeah.
So and Mario won a Rose Bowl with them, right?
Yeah. Two Pac-12 championships.
Yeah, and I mean, even people at work is like, yeah, I don't want Mario to leave, so that was...
But there were a lot of people who were really frustrated with his offense. And I mean, even now, like, with how Dan Lanning has been airing it out, like, we haven't, like, Oregon fans haven't seen that.
I think that was the most common complaint was how conservative he was with the kind of talent that he had and the recruiting that he was doing, especially from the Florida area. He was bringing a lot of speed back to Oregon, kind of like the Mariota's days with DeAnthony Thomas, and people are expecting this kind of high-flying Ducks offense, and that's not what it was. And I think that was probably his biggest criticism.
On the other side, the Oregon Ducks had quite the back and forth type of a game that went from Oregon losing to winning to not covering, but it was a lot of points scored in just, I think, 21 points scored by Oregon in the last 2.5 minutes. So.
And not to go back to the tailgate, but to go back to the tailgate, this was on Fox. So we all have different streaming services on our phones, and we couldn't get it pulled up on those streaming services. We had to go through my phone on the Fox Sports app, and it gave me 1 hour to watch the game free. And I started it a little early because it literally cut off the hour with probably like 5-6 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
And I couldn't get it up on my phone.
And nobody else could do it because, when you go to college stadiums, there's like so many people there. The cell towers are overwhelmed. You can't get it. Anyways, we missed probably the most exciting,
the most electric part.
I remember when it ended, I was all salty because
well, that's what I was gonna say. So then we're just following it on. I use the Score app because usually the Score app is the most up to date and the most accurate. And so actually, I take that back. I think Scrimmage app is what I was using, and it's definitely the most up to date and accurate. Now that I think about it. And, however, they did make a small mistake. They did say final on the score at 30 or
44-34.
44-34. So I was like, yes, Oregon came back. I had seen on the ticker that they had gotten a pick 6. I thought everything was good. Me and Miguel had a bet that was on the episode last week, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we had that bet. I was like, yes, Ducks win. They cover. Everything is well. I was a very happy man. Then 10 minutes later,
I looked at my phone.
Yeah.
Because I had not been looking at my phone. I was just relying on the info that while we were all sitting around, I looked at my phone and it says 44-41.
A lot of points scored right at the end.
Is this a glitch? So I told Braxton as he's walking back from the bathroom, I think, and I was like, you might want to check your phone. It says 44-41.
And naturally, I think you're fucking with me.
Yeah, because I thought he saw the last play. And
well, it literally said final, over. So I guess there was I don't even know how it ended, what the sequence was. But
they had a long pass and then got on the goal line and then just did a 1-yard touchdown.
Yep. Yeah. And that pick 6 that you're talking about was, obviously we didn't try. We had the Fox Sports app, but did we try the Fox Sports in Espanol app? Because what we would have gotten was this.
Será segunda y 4. Termina por ser interceptado. ¡Adiós! ¡Quack, quack! ¡Quack, quack! Se derrumbó el equipo de los Cougars. Más se funa. Se atraviesa. Intercepta. Y con el pick 6. Hasta la vista.
Intercepta hasta la vista.
¡Quack, quack! ¡Quack, quack! ¡Quack, quack! Se derrumbó el equipo de los Cougars. Más se funa.
I love the quack, quack.
Quack, quack.
Hasta la vista. That's beautiful. Love that.
Quack, quack.
Good teams win. Great teams cover.
Yeah.
And Spanish announcers, quack, quack.
It's true.
Sorry.
So, yeah, that was one of the more entertaining games of the weekend we had to catch up on after the fact, which was a little...
Missed it. Sorry.
That game was the definition of I don't know how many years old term, Coug'd it. The Cougars Coug'd it. They invented Coug'd it, and they
followed through on
Couging it.
And how often does a team play Cougars 2 weeks back to back and get the win?
Oh, sure. I'm sure there's probably a stat somewhere.
Yeah. Good for the Ducks.
Good for the Duckies.
You weren't going to get my support on this.
Well, the Stanford Cardinal come into town this coming weekend.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll be able to stay up.
Chalk that up as a win. Stanford sucks.
I'm pretty sure that Stanford has back-to-back 8 p.m. games because the Oregon State game is also going to be
Pac-12 at night. Ever heard of it?
It's late late at night. Yes.
Is
an 11 o'clock start on the East Coast.
Uncut.
Butt cracks everywhere.
You know who?
Are we gonna do another $20 bet on that spread?
No, I don't want to fuck with the Stanford one. Find me another game.
All right, whatever.
You know who was
sucks.
a little bit uncut was Mike Tirico on the Sunday Night Football broadcast last night.
You don't say.
Here he is calling a Brandon Ayuk touchdown.
Fielder as a receiver. The throw to Ayuk inside, touchdown. Samuel leading the way. Ayuk comes inside of him. And Brandon Ayuk with the touchdown grab.
Mike.
Pause.
Come again?
Samuel leading the way. Ayuk comes inside of him. And Brandon Ayuk
There
with
is
the touchdown
never a good time in any scenario to drop comes inside of him.
No.
That was an offensive PI, just a heads up. That's why he said that.
Yeah.
And we had a lot of NFL stinkers of games that there were a few exciting ones.
What happened to your Chargers?
Well, let's talk about the Chargers being one of the stinkers of it. Chargers got boat raced by the Jacksonville Jaguars at home, a game that I had when the schedule had come out. I was like, oh, maybe I could go down to that game. Glad I did not. Justin Herbert playing hurt, and then that they lost a good number of other people to injury as well. And so if we look up and down in the first 3 weeks for the Chargers, they have lost their left tackle for the season. Corey Linsley, their center, out. J.C. Jackson still hasn't played. Edge rusher Joey Bosa going to miss considerable time with a groin injury. Keenan Allen out, hamstring. Justin Herbert's been playing hurt. Parham, the tight end, out. Jalen Guyton, I think, tore his ACL or ruptured his Achilles or something like that. He's done for the year, and their linebacker Kenneth Murray also out. So quite injured. Doesn't necessarily explain away when you're favored by 7 points to then lose by like 30. But
could this be karma?
Because of me?
No, because of them pinning all of it on the trainer to hurt Tyrod Taylor just so Herbie can come in.
Oh, I mean, like he was going to be getting like the same or a similar like injection from that same trainer to try and like stop what the nerve
doesn't
pain
stop
or
Cam.
whatever. So
I think it all starts at the team doctor. When you look at a team and their success, it all starts there. So.
I mean,
and guess where that doctor has to go for you to trust him? Stanford.
Did he go to Stanford?
We don't know. Probably. Not.
Maybe.
Probably.
But I mean, if we were talking about the beginning of the season, looking at the AFC West, thinking that it was going to be the most competitive division, so far it has not been.
No, it has not. And I will say, I think this is a little bit similar, not obviously in quality of player, but in situation to the Baker Mayfield situation last year, where he was injured, that he kept on wanting to come back and play and prove it, but everybody was kind of like, why don't we just like...
You're just hurting the team by...
Yeah, why don't we just take these like 3 weeks off, heal up? It's just like ribs heal pretty quickly. You can work this out and still get back in time to get to the playoffs, to make a deep run with this team. I know you're young, you've got something to prove, but don't really fuck this up long term. I don't know.
I wouldn't. That's your future. I wouldn't risk it.
Yeah, you don't want to create a negative perspective too of yourself being Justin Herbert, and if you're the team, you don't want that to happen either, because it's like, this is your guy. Like, why not only put him in like health concerns way, but also like his image, and like you don't want people all of a sudden to turn on Justin Herbert because he's not playing well because he's injured.
Yeah, but I mean, so then he's injured, and then they keep him in the game the entire time. which was so stupid. Like, you've got your franchise quarterback. Again, you know that you're going to be losing a lot. Justin, like Herbert after the game says, I wanted to be out there with my team, and I wanted to show strength and solidarity.
This ain't high school, bro.
But yeah, this is not your decision. They go, it's Justin's call. No, it's not. It's not his call. You need to step in his way and say, like, this is, like, of course a football player is going to be competitive and want to be out there, but you have to look at it. You're down by 30. For crying out loud. I mean, But
then you look at his coach and you're like, well, that guy's an idiot. So naturally,
stay out there, go for it on 4th down, whatever. And again, you have some impact players out. Again, you also lost Bosa and Guyton and those guys. You already had Allen out. So like, why risk that? And it wasn't a good look. And again, you could have sat against Jacksonville, win or lose there. Now you've lost. You've sent him out there with that injury for a game that now you've lost. You've got the Texans next week. You could have sat him for these 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then maybe you go 1-1. And who cares?
And a guy like Chase Daniel can go out and probably win one of those games.
Austin,
Fucking
Austin
hero.
Eckler
Chase Daniel's a hero.
Because like you have Sony Michel and you have Austin Eckler as your running backs as well. So, I mean, like, just let them know you're going to run it and just, like, shove it down their throat.
Yeah. And I think what you were alluding to earlier is, like, thankfully their conference or their division is turning out to be, at least you have Kansas City losing to the Colts the same week while you're losing to the Jaguars, 2 teams that you think are like
safe to say
Raiders
it's a slow
losing.
start.
Yeah, Raiders
slow
losing, Broncos, like literally the entire like division lost. The Broncos hiring an assistant coach just to like help Hackett with clock management.
Yeah.
Mike McDaniel is having closed door meetings with Mark Davis 3 games into his tenure. He's won.
Josh.
What did I?
Mike. That's going to happen.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's going to happen.
Josh McDaniel, 1-11 or 1-10 in his last 11 games as a head coach.
Not great.
Not so good.
Some people just aren't cut out for it. You're a successful OC, but maybe being a head coach isn't for you.
Some guys just don't know how to cut the cheese.
Some guys just can't hack it.
I did see something, though, when you make that transition. I saw it today somewhere that he left the Patriots and he's not as successful as he wants to be as a head coach, which then I forgot what word I'm looking for, but then he'll go to college and they're saying that he's a good candidate for like the Nebraska job and then, get paid decent money, not do well, and then goes back to the Patriots and be an OC.
Well, right. I mean, like, Joe Judge is back. Matt Patricia is back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like this Bill Belichick coaching tree just kind of welcomes people back with open arms. And again, maybe that's why, Josh McDaniels didn't leave for so long because he was like, maybe I'm just not ready for this yet. And, then it was just like, well, everyone's saying I should go back out there. But then that did remind me, too, we were talking about Mario Cristobal, just to go back to college real quick. And it's like Mario goes back to his alma mater. I think that we talked about this on the podcast about Scott Frost, right? About like going back to your place and then just like being a disgrace as a coach and knowing that you can like never go back or like wear those
colors.
Can't
go to homecoming.
Yeah. And I just like, I don't know, maybe there's just a reason why the Eric Bienemies are always going to stay as an offensive coordinator with the Chiefs. Like after the game, I don't know if you guys saw Patrick Mahomes arguing with Bienemy on the sidelines and everything. They were like, halftime. That's much to do about nothing, whatever. And then like LaShawn McCoy was like, all he does is yell and blame people. He doesn't know how to call plays. LaShawn McCoy always seems to have like a gripe with anyone, so I don't know how reliable that narrator is.
Did you see before that half ended, though, like what led to that little argument?
Enlighten me. And
millions
of listeners.
He just played conservatively. Like they could have easily had enough time
he wanted to go
try and score, And he basically just said, like, just kneel it down or just run the clock out. And I think that's what Mahomes was pissed about.
He didn't want to be conservative.
He was like, why not try and fucking score? And, that's what he does best. And I think that's what he was pissed about. And he's like, why didn't you give me a chance? I'm one of the best players in the league. I can figure out a way to score, maybe even get 3 out of it. But
what other games? I was a little bit bummed to see that the Buffalo game did not turn into the shootout that everyone was expecting as well.
Oh, it was nice to see the Bills lose.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a humbling experience for the Bills because I think they expected, and kind of everybody expected, for them to score more points. Both teams to score more points.
Credit to the Dolphins D.
Yeah, seriously. Because I think looking at the Dolphins' success in the first 2 weeks, you were kind of looking at the offense mostly. It wasn't really the defense that you were impressed with. And everybody thought coming into this game, even we talked to Walsh, that was part of his, part of his teaser to hit that over. So to see that defense, especially on Miami's side of the ball, because everybody expects Buffalo's defense to be good, but to see Miami match that energy, I think this was more proof of Miami's seriousness, in my opinion. I think Buffalo's going to be good no matter what. I think they're going to still be a playoff team. I still think that they're going to run that division. Well, I don't know. I think that division is going to come down to those two teams. I do think that Buffalo comes out on top, especially in their second meeting. But that was a more important win for Miami, I think, in that situation.
What's tough, though, is when we address these things and we're like, oh, we were expecting a full shootout and going way over the total points for the Buffalo-Miami game. I mean, it missed it by 1. If we're talking about the Eagles-Vikings game and you're like, oh, it had 31 by halftime and they didn't score a fucking point in the second half, and it's, I believe the Bills were on the 1, and they had a chance to get a touchdown on the 1-yard line.
For the teaser or for the actual total?
No, for the teaser.
For the teaser.
Like I'm talking about,
bet down.
Because I assume Walsh isn't the only one doing that. A lot of people adjust shit and a lot of people tease things, and it's like, if you're looking for 41 and it's sitting at 40 and the Bills were on the 1, you're like, it's the Bills.
Yeah.
You'll score a fucking
also,
touchdown.
With a monster teaser, you're getting 13 points. You expect it to be like blown out. That's kind of what I was getting at. I'm not trying to knock on Walsh or anything, but it's like everybody thought that was just such an easy one. Even with the 13 points, that was like a no-brainer, back of the mind. That one's going to hit no matter what.
No, I get you. It's just like, if I'm going to lose those things, if I'm going to lose a teaser, I'd rather lose it by a mile.
Yeah, by 1.
Getting sniped by 1
with Josh Allen on the 1, that's tough. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, and I mean, like, maybe that game would have been different and Buffalo could have put up more points had it not been for Tua being able to stay in that game, which is so ridiculous that they've tried to explain away that what he experienced was not a head injury. That we've all seen guys get up from head injuries and stumble and wobble around, and after the fact, 1, that he cleared concussion protocol, and 2, afterwards when Tua was saying, "Oh, that I had back pain." What you saw was that I had tightness in my back. Bullshit, dude. And now the NFLPA has launched an investigation into what went down with that, and apparently Tua doesn't have a concussion. Sure looked like he did.
Yeah, I don't know. And I know that then in certain situations you can get hit in the head and have those, kind of dizzy experiences without having a concussion.
It's like wobbly at the moment.
Exactly. The moment. So I know that is possible, but I mean,
like, concussion protocol is just such bullshit. Like, what they're doing, like, I mean, they're asking them some of the simpler questions out there to then get these guys back in. I mean, like, how much are they actually pressing the issue on concussion protocol when they go, what day is it? Well, it's Sunday, clearly. Who's the president? Okay. Like, I mean, like...
But
I also...
Have you had a concussion?
I don't know. Maybe.
But...
I've rocked my head back a good number of times. I don't know. Like,
I've had multiple concussions, and those questions are very difficult to answer. You don't know. That's kind of the point that makes it a concussion, is that these such simple questions are become unreasonable.
I also think you're looking at a completely different generation of football players compared to 20 years ago, where these players are just, put me out on the field, I'll play hurt.
Yeah.
That's no longer the case. So I don't think this is necessarily something we're questioning, because now players care about that. They will retire at 29 before getting that. So I don't think you're looking at somebody like Tua like he's helpless because the Dolphins want him to go out there and play through it. Because right now the players can say, fuck this. I don't want to deal with this shit. I want to be able to play with my kid. I'm out. I'm retiring.
So what we saw was just him getting his bell rung, possibly.
I think it's possible when you're playing football that you can just be wobbly in the moment without having a concussion.
Yeah. I mean,
maybe not always the case, but...
And I think...
But wasn't your instinct when you saw that he absolutely had a concussion? Did you see that in real time?
I did. And I said out loud, oh, that's probably a concussion. But
I guess we weren't there to evaluate him. Either way.
But I do agree with you. There's no doubt in my mind that the NFL's concussion protocol has gaps. They want their superstars to play. That's why the NFLPA is looking into this matter further, is because obviously they saw these gaps. So, but if at the end of the day they have their other doctors who give those second and third opinions and say it's not that, then what else can we do?
When we were sitting outside earlier and you look up at the lights and it's a little foggy, do we assume that you have a migraine, or maybe you were just looking at the screen too long?
Yeah,
Presented by Boneyard.
But we don't know, right? You can get diagnosed with a migraine, but we don't know.
That's true. Did you guys see the Ken Dorsey meltdown? An all-time great.
I did.
The one, you didn't see this. Up in the booth where he's slamming all of his shit around. You didn't see that?
You're talking about Ken Dorsey, former Miami quarterback?
Sure.
Buffalo
Bills
offensive
coordinator. Ken Dorsey.
I didn't know he was a OC.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, we'll put the video.
Yeah, pull it up.
Are people just
pull it up?
Are people just breaking shit? Didn't Tom Brady just break more iPads?
They don't respect the Microsoft Surface.
They don't.
But didn't the league
a superior device, in my opinion?
Is it?
In my opinion.
Better than the iPad?
In my opinion.
All right, here it is. You saw the chaotic ending to which they tried to clock it and get the ball so that they could score a field goal or whatnot. The score being, 21-19, so it would have been a game-winning field goal had they been able to. Clock runs out, and good old Ken Dorsey had a way with his stuff.
Okay, Ken, take it easy.
And then someone comes in and slides the hand over. What's funny, too, is that there's like this coach over here who is just like, what are you doing, dude? And he kind of addressed it today and talked about how it was learning experience. And Sean McDermott was saying, hey, like, we need to respond to things a little bit better. So
could he technically be a part of the league coming down with punishment for breaking stuff? Because they come down on Brady?
I don't know if they came down on him, but I know that they were.
But now there's a fine. Now that Brady's done it 2 weeks in a row, they have put out a fine for breaking devices that the league provides.
Well, I know that Microsoft is pretty aggravated with the NFL because they paid hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to get that deal to where their device is used by all NFL teams.
And all people are talking about it is just it being destroyed.
Exactly. And
that's probably why the NFL put out fines.
Yeah.
But is it any like publicity good publicity?
When they see your devices getting smashed all the time, that's not.
I don't know.
They especially when they're like now.
What about Tide Pods? Do you think they didn't like people buying their Tide Pods and eating them?
Especially when they had to get locked up.
I agree with any publicity is good publicity, but I can also see on the flip side that if this goes on every single week and they're just smashing the Microsoft Surface, that it might not be the best look.
Well, look. Next time when you guys see Surface advertisements, notice that in every advertisement they make note of their durability and how they're strong and capable of handling a lot of shit.
but not with. I mean, really, what they should
Except
do.
professional football players.
I mean, and maybe Tom Brady's trying to get himself some retirement money so that then he could be a new spokesperson and he can make a little joke
for the
out
shit
of it.
he's been breaking.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So
that would be a good campaign. Him throwing the new surface and it doesn't break.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, like, make fun of it. Like, lean into it, really.
Absolutely.
Is what you
Let's
gotta
go.
do.
Lean in, Tommy.
So what you have after week 3, your updated MVP odds: Josh Allen at plus 300, Jalen Hurts at plus 600, Patrick Mahomes plus 700, Lamar Jackson's at plus 700, and Tua Tagovailoa at plus 1,400.
Lamar betting on himself has looked like a genius move so far.
Yeah, I mean,
he's played out of his mind.
He is pocketing millions upon millions of more dollars for sure. Who would you take in that? Like, if you were to take an MVP bet today,
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen at plus 600, not Lamar.
I think I would take Lamar just because I placed a bet for the Ravens to win the Super Bowl this year on February 19th. And so I'm riding with that. I think Lamar is going to have a breakout MVP year.
I mean, certainly, like, if you're looking at contenders within the money, Lamar looks like a good bet. Tua, I think, could maybe get, like, most improved. But, I mean, is he going to get MVP? I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
It's going to all the awards are going to be overtaken by QBs. It's all going to be quarterbacks that's going to win everything.
Well, and then if you look after 3 weeks, you have 3 teams, or you have 3 quarterbacks that are 3-0. Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson, and good old Cooper Rush.
Lamar Jackson is not 3-0.
Oh, who am I thinking of? Who are my 3-0 guys? Oh, Tua. Sorry, my bad.
I don't think Cowboys are 3-0 either.
No, they're not.
Quarterbacks.
But Cooper Rush is.
Oh, okay.
But Cooper
because he's way better than Dak.
Exactly.
He is. I said that.
I mean,
I said that.
Skip said it.
I said
the real Skip, not you.
Oh, sorry. I thought
Skip
it was
said
I
it.
don't
I said
think
it
I
first.
would have said that.
Now, let's say the Jaguars continue the streak that they're on. Do you then give most improved to Tua or Trevor Lawrence?
Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, to have this turnaround post Urban Meyer, and you're rolling the Chargers 38-10, and you finish the season
if they make the playoffs,
they make making the playoffs with double-digit wins. I think you got to give it to Trevor
On most improved.
Yeah, because you have to think that they did pick up Christian Kirk, which is, no one sat here and said, what a monster of a fucking pickup. But then Tua gained Tyreek Hill. So I think you kind of weigh that. You look at that scale.
And also the coaching situation. I think you would look at Mike McDaniels as a better coach option than Doug Peterson.
I mean, certainly kind of a new way of football.
Yeah.
For Mike McDaniel, for sure.
Is it Daniel or Daniels?
Mike McDaniel.
Is there one Daniel?
Mike McDaniel,
I think it's
Josh McDaniels.
Mike McDaniel, Josh McDaniels.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Just like me not knowing which one's the golfer, Jack Nicklaus or Jack
I think
Nicholson.
I might have said this last week, but this is going to happen multiple times.
Yeah.
This Josh McDaniels, Mike
and
McDaniels
I'm claim
situation.
quarterbacks are 3-0 when they're
Here's
not.
a good brain exercise. Josh McDaniels, plural, came from the Patriots. Mike McDaniel, where did he come from?
The 49ers.
49er. Singular.
Yep.
Now I have a migraine.
There's only one.
Now I have a
Is
migraine.
it foggy again?
We're foggy again.
Oh, gosh.
Well, it certainly is not going to be Justin Fields. They have now thrown, I think, 23 times. 23 times in 3 games they have thrown. So
I'm pretty sure
Bear football is run football.
Daniel Jones
certainly
had
not
more than 23 attempts tonight, maybe 23 completions.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure that Daniel Jones threw it, or no, Cooper Rush threw it like 60 times tonight.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, I think so. Let me look that up.
Are you sitting
Or maybe that's just like overall.
Are you sitting up there, Jerry Jones, you're still thinking Dak's your guy?
No.
You know he is because he's
got some
that's
sort of he's faded off the Johnny Walker
fucking attachment to him. It's like, dude, Dak's not the guy. It might not be Cooper, but fucking find somebody else.
He's not up there again, right?
I hope.
I don't know, dude. I'm scared of him now.
I don't even want to look up there anymore.
He's probably right behind me, isn't he?
Yeah.
I swear to God, if he's behind one of us, I'll lose my shit.
You would punch him in the face.
How do you feel about that new Smile movie coming out?
Oh, my God.
We were telling you about that when we saw... What movie did we see in the theater? The Nope.
Right.
We saw the Jordan Peele movie, and that was the trailer. And Ashley and I were sitting in the theater next to this older couple. We have like one seat between us. And we were both sitting there like this, like covering our eye, but kind of looking. And that last scene in the trailer outside of the car, I just went, God fucking damn it. And the guy's just snickering right next to me.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's fucking freaky looking.
Well, because like you've seen, I imagine, the kind of grassroots marketing that they've done at these sporting events where they're, especially at baseball games, they're putting these Smile people in the backstop of like Yankee games.
I was wondering if that was connected.
It is.
That is diabolical.
Yeah, and people are like, why are these people smiling?
It would put me on edge. I wouldn't enjoy the game.
No.
I don't like it.
No.
It's not even October yet. Take it easy with this stuff.
I don't love scary movies. I like thrillers. Is there?
Yeah.
Do you guys get the difference when I say that?
I do get the thriller.
Yeah, and maybe what you'll get
The difference,
with
not the
this
thriller.
with this Dahmer show, which is on the Netflix.
Yeah, I
now.
want to watch that. I love that shit.
That might be thriller. It doesn't feel thriller. It just feels
Creepy.
icky. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because obviously
I'm down
because
with
it's
that.
all real.
Yeah.
It does give me the same effect though, unless it's like unless it's not like paranormal stuff. So like paranormal, that's scary to me. And then you know the John Cusack like 1408, that's a thriller. I can distinguish the difference between the two. However, it does give me the same feeling. Like 1408 kind of freaked the shit out of me.
Yeah.
In the same way that, you know, Paranormal Activity would.
But yeah, like that Smile show, like getting possessed or like, yeah, I don't know.
Thank you.
Fuck that.
No, sir.
Fuck that.
No, sir.
A couple more sports items before we get out of here. Bye-bye to the Pro Bowl. Sad day. They're finishing.
I love it.
I know.
I
love this.
Love the change.
They're going to be
full
doing a
day
flag
of
football
skill
now?
challenges.
But you guys, since you started paying attention to the Pro Bowl, did you look forward to the actual game?
No.
Not at all.
The best part was them being mic'd up.
Yep.
And Peyton Manning running around in like 6'4", trying to go through the obstacle course.
Yes.
That was the best part.
Yeah.
And you're giving me more of that, and then flag, like the dodgeball. These were the best parts of Pro Bowl.
Well, and also, I think they strategically didn't say if they're going to do dodgeball or not, because that's kind of been something that they didn't know if they were going to keep or not, but it's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
But that has to be a part of the skill day, because if you're doing a full day of skills, you want to get everybody involved. That's one of the best ways to do it. Get some dodgeball going.
I think flag is a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you're looking for in the actual game. I just want to see speed.
Yeah, big catches.
You're eliminating the pads. There's no blocking. You're just going to watch Tyreek Hill and whoever. I mean, it's just backyard football.
Well,
that's
for sure.
Great.
And I think they can do like lineman challenges, like tug of war. They can do a lot of big things for the big hosses down
That's
front.
a Pro Bowl I'd want to go to.
Yeah.
Like I'd spend a week.
Keep it in Vegas, too.
Yeah.
Right.
Somewhere warm, somewhere nice.
And like, that it makes it more about like the fan experience and fan engagement. Not that it wasn't that already, but now that these guys don't have to like even think about playing a serious game by any means, they can just like have so much fun. And obviously, we should all go down for a Pro Bowl sometime.
It's been a
That'd be
point of
fun.
contention for sure, and they finally listened and done something about
Yeah.
it, because now
Bring
they
it back
might
to Hawaii.
create intrigue on it.
Bring it back to Hawaii.
I don't know if Hawaii would want them.
That's
Maybe they
probably
would. Hawaii doesn't seem like they want anyone. Last sports item before we get to tonight's punishment. The NBA has opened up their training camps. A lot of media days happened today. One quote that stood out to me, actually two quotes from Gregg Popovich, Spurs head coach, who in his first press conference of the year told people, quote, Do not go to Las Vegas and bet on us to win the championship.
He's an honest man. He's an honest man.
Do not do it. We're at like plus 50,000 or whatever we're at. Don't do it. We're not going to win it.
I kind of want to do it now, Greg.
I don't even know who they have.
I kind of want to know.
Who did they get in return for DeJounte Murray? I don't even think they have like a team that you would know their starting five.
Yeah, good old Zach Collins.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Spurs at plus 24,000, by the way.
No ship.
Spurs roster as of right now.
Hang on,
got Jacob Podol. Give you that one.
You just said hang on.
I know. I'm trying to think if I know of anybody on the Spurs.
Like who their potential
is Van Vliet?
No,
Raptors.
He's with the Raptors. They have like 5 or 6 players on here that don't even have little headshots. They're just blank.
No, they got the kid from Kentucky that would play alongside Murray. Keldon Johnson.
They have Keldon Johnson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice job, Miguel.
They've got a Dookie on there.
Wow. Miguel,
one of the Leprechauns.
Trey Jones.
Trey Jones is on there. Yeah. Correct. They've got good old Zach Collins. They've got Keita Bates-Diop. They've got Gorgie Jang. Yeah. 32 years old there. I think he's going to be
Put me down for 100 on the Spurs this year.
Plus 24,000.
Dougie McDermott.
Dougie.
Say less.
Creighton Blue Jays.
Creighton legend.
Let's see.
I didn't know he's still in the league.
Me neither.
They have 2 players 30 years or older. Doug McDermott is one of those, which is weird. Doesn't seem like a 30-year-old.
He was a brick house, if you know what I mean, boys.
Also, their highest paid player at $13.7 million.
LaMarcus?
Aldridge?
No. Doug McDermott.
Oh, it's still Doug?
LaMarcus has since retired, unretired, and retired again.
Oh, yeah, he was with Brooklyn.
He sure was. And then Josh Richardson.
Who?
Josh Richardson from Tennessee. Ever heard of him? Clearly not.
Pooh.
Jeez.
That's
well,
Pooh
Pete,
Richardson.
Before we get to our punishment here.
Is there another item or what?
When should we start plugging the live show?
We've been plugging it every week.
Yeah.
We've been mentioning it every
but
week.
For real, with all the actual
we're
details.
We're 2 months away, so not yet.
Okay, sounds good.
But this is kind of like a passive plug, so.
I think the little droplets we've been making is enough for
it's
2
coming.
months away.
Do we bring
just
the
like
uplights?
Brandon Ayuk came inside of him?
Yeah. Do the uplights come with us? You think we bring the uplights?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I do think, and we can talk about this after, but we probably need to make a visit ahead of time to see the audio situation,
to scout it, yeah,
and see if we need to rent.
Can we grab chicken strips for that visit?
Sure.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right.
Yep.
I'll be there.
Perfect. All right, let's get to tonight's punishment of me.
Boom, boom, boom. Did you already see it?
No, I swear to God, I have no idea.
Really?
I have been in my own head tonight, so no.
Are you sure you didn't see it?
So even when you were setting shit up before we walked in this room,
I haven't
you
seen
didn't see
anything.
it?
No,
because it's been right here.
Has it? I have no idea what you're talking about.
But would it be that odd for Tupperware to just be tucked in a corner?
Is there Tupperware tucked in a corner?
There is Tupperware.
Oh gosh.
Tucked in a corner.
No.
So this has actually been prepping all day.
Oh.
I want you to know that these were grown fresh in my garden.
Oh no! Is it safe to eat that? Is it a mushroom?
No, dude.
Oh, okay.
Let him explain.
What kind of garden do you think that I have?
I don't know. All right, go on.
I have a garden that grows many things, one of which are beautiful, ripe cherry tomatoes.
Oh, God.
And what we did with these tomatoes is we wanted to add more flavor. So I literally picked these off the vine today.
And you infuse them or something?
Yes. With the finest...
Infused in all caps, Peter.
With the finest mix of apple cider and white vinegar.
Here you go. It has been soaking for 12 hours.
The skin is starting to split and peel off.
I hate All of these
and
things.
Hence a punishment. Braxton, can you explain the instructions and what he has to do?
So there are 5.
It's starting to disintegrate.
Yes, that's all for you, Daddy.
All right.
You don't have to record it with your phone because we have video now.
Shut up.
You were seriously about to record it.
I mean, he can. He can get a better angle.
I'm trying to get a different angle here.
Okay,
Miguel.
If you saw on the YouTube, I did multiple angles last week. So
yeah, I watch. By the way, I know I obviously download on Spotify, but I love watching our YouTubes.
You are a narcissist. You love watching yourself, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
you vain motherfucker.
I would say that YouTube is probably my number one consumed
medium.
Yes,
sure.
And I most of the time am watching podcasts, so I enjoy watching. How does that smell, by the way?
Oh, it smells like wet feet.
Ooh, wet feet.
When we were on the way here, Miguel, you said all I want it to do is smell like feet, right?
And it does.
Yeah.
How did you know?
How many does he have to eat?
All of them.
Yeah, I mean, he gave me all
But
of
you
them.
have to drink some of the vinegar too.
I feel like I'm gonna get. Each of these have opened up. They.
It makes it easier. You just fucking swallow it.
Right. But what I'm saying, they look like these little Pac-Man characters now, which is just delightful. Just delightful.
Enjoy. Bon appetit.
See, it looks like a little Pac-Man. Right? Am I lying here? All right.
Nobody cares.
Shut up. I'm just stalling here. All right, here we go. You know what? I'm going to go multiples
Oh,
here.
yeah. Make sure you chug that vinegar, too.
Yeah, it's like it's pickled tomatoes.
Oh, that makes it so much better. Oh, you guys hear the gush?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a hard swallow.
Explain the taste and texture.
Give us a Guy Fieri
I hate the
description.
Gush. I hate the gush. There's like this extra film now.
Are these tomatoes driving the bus to Flavortown?
They're driving some flavor, none that I want to Flavortown.
Are they?
It's so sour, and the gush and the gush. I don't know how to like explain how much of a visceral reaction that I have to the gush. I just can't do it. I can't do it.
Miguel, thoughts?
Thoughts?
Is Brody coming downstairs?
No, that was Hank.
Oh.
No, it's just another ghost.
Here's the next 3.
How many are in there?
5.
Okay. Pop him in. Bang. All right. Give us a nice little gulp of the vinegar.
I hate vinegar.
Were they infused well?
Oh, yeah. It's all in it. It takes away...
Braxton's nickname is the Marinator.
When you said that, I got like a huge waft of the vinegar, which made me think of the feet again.
The marinator. I actually marinated my toes in those.
Yeah.
Yo, I swear to God, if you did.
I did.
Why do you think they're
No,
brown?
you did not.
I did.
No, you did not.
I did.
No,
I did.
don't say that
I
you did that.
I did. I waited till you finished them all.
That's mean.
Oh.
That's evil.
We're done.
You gotta drink some of the vinegar.
You have
After
to.
the foot comment,
I don't think he actually did.
I think he did. That might be a toenail.
He didn't do that. The Tupperware's too small.
For toenails? Drink it. Drink it.
Just one big gulp.
Peter.
Smile. Nice acidic burp.
Ooh, that's like heartburn too.
Oh my goodness.
All right, now you gotta dip your dick in it. And
Fuck
suck it.
off. Eat my ass.
Oh God, Peter. Well, you're a trooper. Congratulations.
I don't even have any beer.
You drank my toe milk.
All right, good job.
Clear eyes.
Full hearts.
Get loose.
dude.
Yeah, dude.
I tend to believe it. Like, I mean, it tastes like feet anyways.
I mean, it's really up to you. Like your perception is reality. So, do you believe? Do you believe that I put them in there? If you do, then that's gonna haunt you. If you don't believe it,
your little dainty toes just hovering over.
I'll show you the toe I took my toenail off of.
Just ripped it off of.
Yeah.
You'd really believe it if you have video evidence. You show it to them.
You want me to show you?
The toenail or the video? Do you do a video?
The video of my toes in that. Do you
have one?
Yeah.
He's just Googling.
You're Googling toes and vinegar.
All right.
It's a black
See ya.
foot.